She said that she was absolutely in love with him. I
Right.
don't know what he said about her, but she said that she was in love with him because they went public with their relationship.
Mm.
So I assume they were in an exclusive monogamous relationship.
And maybe he was in love with her, but he just wasn't exclusive, or he thought he could be exclusive, but he just wasn't because he's surrounded by all these gorgeous women.
Well,
Like,
maybe he just wasn't willing to grow in that way for whatever reason.
yeah, yeah. I think,
Hmm.
and what I think bothers me about it is now I'm not a therapist. I don't have the therapy degrees like you do. But I am a black man who's 53 years old who's kind of seen a lot. I see this all the time. I do. I see a marriage between some young girl and like a rapper or an athlete or somebody who's in a whole culture that's not even built on anything remotely connected to monogamy. And then they say, "Oh, let's get together and let's have sex because sex is fun and there's lots of dopamine released and you just have a pleasurable experience." And then it's like, "Oh my God, somebody's pregnant." And then the baby comes out. Then it's like, "Yeah, we're gonna raise this baby together." And then within about 3 or 4 months, the baby doesn't even have a shot at having their parents in the same house. And it's just a pattern that keeps getting repeated. And I keep wondering if there's a point where people are going to stop and say, why do we keep ourselves in this relationship purgatory of the same thing happening over again? Are we going to ever have authentic conversations about why it's happening and try to diagnose the issue and fix it?
I was talking about that last night in the book club about finding a partner, that it really takes a level of psychological growth
Mm,
to be in a relationship of substance. So the intimacy for money and being with someone who's just a trophy girlfriend, that's a level of immaturity. And a sign of maturity is taking on the responsibility of being held and holding someone and having authentic love.
mm,
Yeah. I
okay.
just talked about that last night.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, I could say this. I think that there's a massive cost to broken families that we don't acknowledge in the black community. I think that there's a
Yeah.
massive financial cost. It's hard for men to have a kid here and have a kid there, and then and then decide when they're 35, oh yeah, now I want to get married and have regular kids. But you've got all these other kids, these little seeds you've dropped through the
Hmm.
years who are might be resentful of the fact that, oh, like now you want to grow up, now you want to be a dad. And then
Mm.
also so the financial cost is high. Single mothers tend to struggle financially. Now I don't think that will be the case with Hallie and DDG though, because they both seem to have some money. And it's interesting though. It makes you wonder, were you even fooling yourselves to even think that you could even do what a traditional family does when there's nothing about your lifestyles that is traditional? There's nothing about being a YouTuber with 4 million followers that's traditional. There's nothing about being in Disney movies that's traditional. So why would you even try? Why not just, from the beginning, just say, hey, we're just gonna, do it in this weird celebrity way and let that be that.
Well, I think that they were really in love. I think that she really loved him, according to what she had to say. And I think it's okay to do childish things when you're in your 20s. When you're a child, it's great to do childish things. When you have a baby and you're in a relationship, I think it's great to grow and evolve. Don't you
Hmm.
think? I mean, that's okay. Like what I did at 19 and 20 is not the same thing I do now. Remember, I talk about how I like going to the club. I love going to the clubs. I like dancing and listening to music. My lifestyle just didn't sustain that anymore. I wanted to get an education. There were other things that I wanted to do with my life that kind of crushed my whole youth.